Okay, I'm going to play Limehouse Blues for you, and I'm going to be accompanied by my beautiful wife, Jennifer Skinner. You ready? Okay, that was Limehouse Blues, and let's get started with it. First of all, Limehouse Blues, a lot of people think it's in the key of C, but it's not. It's in the key of G, but it does start right off into C. So the way it starts, Don did a couple of different beginnings of this. Sometimes the original Don just did a single string walk down. He didn't do the thumb index, but he just did it with the thumb down to the second fret on the fourth string. Start at the fifth and down to the second, into C. But later versions, Don did a pinch with those same notes, where he pinched the first and the second strings along with it, so into the C. So it's up to you which one you want to use. But that's how you get into it. And when you hit the second fret, you immediately begin to roll forward. So, okay. Now, this C chord is pretty common in Reno style. He leaves the D string open and is only doing, so you do a normal C, but you take this finger off. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to come around here with your pinky and grab this fourth fret on the fourth string. So you roll forward and then do another forward roll, but you're going to hit this note and hit the G string or third string afterwards. Like that. And it's followed up with the third string every time, so you get that melody in there. Then you hit that on the second. So usually followed up with a little roll like that afterwards. Then the song goes to A, which Don only does a partial chord for the A, where it's only two strings, middle finger on, or actually, we'll do the pointer finger on. It's important how you get this, because you're going to have to reach over and still hit that note on the fourth string. So I use my pointer finger on the second fret on the second string, and my thumb on the fourth string on the second fret. So, you know, it's like an A, but we're leaving the G string open and the D string open. Same roll. Okay, and now I have heard people do it like this, where they have the fourth string mashed or the first string matched on the second fret. I'm sorry. It's a little harder to do, or you could do it with 2 fingers. But I'm pretty sure Don left the first string open because it's what he's doing really, and this is real common in Reno style, is Don uses the first string as a drone string, much like we do the 5th string. When you're playing, you're constantly hitting that, but Don uses that first string a lot as a drone. So okay, and after A, it goes to G, and what happens here is, and that's all you're doing. And you'll notice I haven't hit the 5th string yet at all during this whole thing. See, I haven't hit the 5th string at all during that whole first part. So after you come out of the A, Dixie breakdown roll again. And there's 2 different ways to do this. The chords to the song goes G, B to E minor. And what Don does on the original is a couple of times through, he walks up to the B, and again you're doubling up on the thumb. I believe that's all forward. And all I'm doing is walking down from a B to a B7th. That same barred 7th position we've been working with. Hit the G 3rd string open, and during the E minor part, Don hits this part of the E minor. So it's B7th to E minor. And what he's doing is he's just hitting the 2nd fret on the 1st string. Like that. And then we're going to slide into that A chord with the B string open, 2nd string open. Okay, and the roll is real kind of weird. It's a typical strange Reno roll. And you can use any kind of roll, really, as long as you stay in that same amount of time in the A chord. So and then from that A chord, we're going to go to the same bar position, 7th chord, but this is going to be a D7th. So all right, and then it goes back to C. It starts just like the beginning. Okay, and this is the ending part, and it goes to G, and here we're going to start doing some double stops. So we're going to be playing out of this F position, G, and we're going to strum the bottom 2 out of that chord position. Okay, and all I'm doing is sliding into it. I'm coming up here and hitting that note on the 5th fret. Alright, and then it goes to C, but go ahead and get into an A minor position, where it's an F minor chord position actually, but it's an A minor here. So, and you're only going to be strumming the 2nd and 3rd strings and you're going to slide into this C is what you're doing. But you're going to be holding down this because you're going to need it. So, and you're going to come up on the 4th and 3rd. And that's where the song goes to A minor. And back to C. Then it goes to D. So let me play that a little up to speed. It's hard to play slow. Alright, now on the original version, Don pinched these last notes to give it just a little sound, different sound. So he's pinching that on the 7th fret. That's where you go to D in the song, and he's coming back and hitting this same old position we've been using. So let me play that one more time so you can get the feel of it. Okay, and there's tons of different ways you can do that part. You can do some hammer-ons or pull-offs. Like that. So I'll play through the first part of it. Just a regular, no extra single string or anything like that, like we just did it. And I'll play that for you slow. Now Don's second break he took on there, we're going to go back to this 7th, because at the end of the song it comes back to G, you know. Alright, and then it goes back into the C, starting all over again. But this time around he's going to hit this barred C7 position that we've used before. And you're just going to be pinching these 3 strings. And again, you can do this a number of different, well, I mean, hundreds of different ways. You can just use different rhythms. And Don actually would sometimes start out here and end up back at this position. So, I'll give you an example. This is how it would sound. And all I'm doing here is basically when we do this lick, so it's that same chord. It's an A minor is what it is, but we're playing the A minor against a major C. So you can do that. I'm sure you've heard him do that, and you don't have to pinch it. You can brush it. Alright. But you can stay in that C7th. Then it goes to A, and we're going to use that same minor position that we used here. And we're going to go here. And what I did there was I went back and forth just like on the C. And I ended with a A7. It's an F7th position, but it's an A7th. You can do all kinds of little rhythms there. You could actually use some of the clicking there on any one of those. this particular one, you could do your normal like that, but I like to do just a normal A7th instead of your standard walk down that we talked about. But it does work. So let's try this again from the C. Or just a little bit different. It's really close, but alright. And this time around, when we come back to G, we're going to do that same partial F position. And basically all he's doing is he's playing that instead of going to the B that we went to. Don't ask me why it works, but it does, because it really shouldn't, because it's not part of the B chord. It's really part of the G. But it does work, and let's play that again. And again, see, that's where I'm hitting open notes, not just holding down the double stops. Come back to that E minor, so. And then we're going to go to the A. And he didn't do the descending D lick on the original version, but I think I did it when I recorded it for this video. So it goes to A. Okay. So that same A with the open B. And then we go back into the regular Limehouse blues lick. Except this time, I'm not sure if I recorded this earlier like this, but I'll show you this lick because Don used it. It goes like this. Okay, now it's the same roll that we were using, but Don's doing a little hammer-on and changing the notes up a little bit there, the melody. Okay, instead of doing that, we can go. Alright, I'll play that slow for you. It's a little tricky to get the timing right because you got to hammer on. And then it goes to A and he does the same thing. So I'll play it from the D. Okay, and you don't have to do the hammer on during the whole thing. You can just put it on the end of it. So the first part of it's just like we did it the first time. You do it in the C or the A. And actually, I think, now that I think about it, I think Don did that on the original version. When he came back to C, he did it normally and just put the hammer on the end of it, and then did it all the way through the A, if I remember right. Either way, you know, it doesn't matter because Don never played the same thing twice, and so you don't have to be exactly like the record. But I believe this is the way he did it originally. Yeah, okay. Something like that. And then we go back into the brush at the end, G. Okay, and the ending that I used, which Don used a lot on different tunes, and he did use this on Limehouse Blues in later versions of it. I start from here on the 2nd fret, and basically all I'm doing is I'm sweeping the strings with my fingers, and I'm coming up to your bar G here. So okay, it doesn't sound right slow, but I'll try it. And all I'm doing is okay, and Don used that ending on a lot of tunes, and it's a really good sounding ending. Not many people do it anymore, so you may want to add that to some of your other tunes. Okay, now Limehouse Blues is one of my favorite tunes because you can apply just about any Reno lick to this song, and it's really a great tune. It has a great melody to it. It's basically a jazz tune, I believe, but we can run through a couple of things. I'll show you. We can use a lot of the single string licks that we used during the single string section. And let's say we start out, the song starts in C, of course. So let's start from the very ending of it. Okay, now from this point, we're going to go to C, just like we were going to start over, you know. But instead of doing that, we're going to do these single string licks that we went over before. So that's all we're doing there, is doing those same single string licks. And then we're going to do the same thing through the A chord. Alright. And then back to this. Then we do our A. And sometimes I'll show you this lick here. I really like this lick. I use this lick as an ending, as just a regular lick. This lick Don did in a lot of songs, like Yes Sir, She's My Baby. It's the kickoff for that. It's in Jackknifing, things like that. And you can use this in the same when you go to D here. And what I'm going to do is... Okay, now that may sound familiar to you if you've ever heard Jackknifing. And basically what I'm doing is it's just a lick. I'm just filling up the D part for the song. So you go to A. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting this D position. This is a D up here. I'm going to get my fingers ready for that. And all I'm doing is a quick forward roll. And I start the roll before I even get down here. I'm sliding into it. So, like that. You want to hit that note though. So, I'm sliding into this D, and that's all I'm doing is rolling forward. It's very similar to that lick that we covered during the single string section. This. So. Hope you can figure it out from that. Let's see if I can play it a little bit slower. The very next note I'm hitting after I do that, we'll just forward roll it there without doing the slide. I'm hitting this out of your F position. It's a D chord, but it's an F position. Okay, so like that. And you just do a little roll there after you stay in D. Like that. And then you can do this same pull off here that we did in Reno Ride. You can go back to doing that. Or you can do another good lick is this lick. like I said, there's just endless possibilities. I'm trying to think of what I can show you in this particular tune that I remember Don doing. Let's see, when you go back to C the second time on this, you can do a pull off here. So that same one from Reno Ride, if you remember. Or you can do this one, and Don used this one a lot during backup as well as in other tunes. Remington Ride, he uses this one in. Many songs he uses this lick. But basically what I'm doing is I'm holding down an F7th position. You can do it anywhere on the neck. And he's pulling the first and second strings completely off to open strings. Now normally if it's, you wouldn't want to do that when you're way up the neck or in B or something like that. But the pull off is so quick, it's kind of like the open notes that we were talking about during single string. You know, it's so quick you don't really hear the open notes. So you can do this lick, and all I'm doing is pulling off those double stops. You can try that. Now I'm not really pulling off real hard to make it pronounced, but you just kind of slide your fingers off of it, because if you pull it off too hard, it's gonna really rattle. So, and then you can go to your A and do it like that. And you can do different rhythms and stuff with that. And that's a really good lick. And I've heard him do that in Limehouse. So let's see, where were we here? C and then A. And I never heard him do this before or after his actual original version. This is the way he did it on his original version, was where he just kind of hit the strings. And what I'm doing is I'm sliding into the third fret on the second string and then hitting the first string open. Okay, so play around with this song. This is one of Don's best songs. Take some of the things that we're going to learn from the other songs and see what you can apply to Limehouse Blues. And it's really one of my favorite tunes, and you can just play just about anything you want in Limehouse Blues.